Besides what comes from your body directly, there are other agents that we can use to augment the regenerative procedure and tissue restoration components of what we do. Some of these come from other sources, such as a product called Acell, which has been around for a very long period of time. Its basement membrane from the bladders of pigs doesn't have any of their genetics or DNA or anything like that in it, but its structure essentially that can recreate or at least give the components to the body exactly in the area that it needs to be used. There's probably some physiologic help that Acell gives to the healing process. I found specifically that it's very helpful in a condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. These are otherwise known as contortionists to the public, people who can wrap themselves up in pretzels. They wear out their tissues very quickly, very early in life. It can be very painful and very limiting for them. Very helpful to have Acell as part of the regenerative injections for people. Usually decreases the number of procedures that I need to do on individuals by about half. There are other places that I use it besides just that condition, but that's an example. Another example is thrombin. This is a protein that is in our blood. It's part of our clotting cascade. I began to use that about 10 years ago to augment structure in areas that I was working on. Very specifically, I would inject the thrombin into a meniscus tear and then inject platelet-rich plasma into it. When I was doing studies on it, if I added just a little bit of thrombin to platelet-rich plasma in a syringe, and this was about 8 years ago, that I found that the thrombin combined with a protein called thrombin, and it looked like ice that was forming from water from one side to the other. It looked like it was freezing. And I took this tissue out of the syringe and tried every way that I could to tear it, and I found that it was this extremely strong tissue. So I can use a protein to combine other proteins from your platelet-rich plasma to create new structure. It works very, very good where I need to bridge small tears together, but needs to be placed extremely carefully. As I said, it's part of the clotting cascade. If I inject that into a vessel when I'm not using guidance, or I'm using guidance imperfectly, that vessel is going to get clotted off. So though these can be very powerful agents, they need to be used very carefully. Another agent that's used not uncommonly is ozone. There are a lot of separate treatments, studies, research, and interventions that are ozone alone, often coming in a form called prolozone, where it's various forms of non-biologic regenerative agents combined with ozone. Ozone is O3 or oxygen 3, and when it's injected into the body, very quickly breaks down into peroxide and oxygen 2. Both of those molecules have significant effects on the immunologic system in the body and can cause healing via those cascades. There are particular conditions I commonly use ozone with as an add-on, and oftentimes I'll use it as a preparatory injection to help the body immunologically heal an area before I use a biologic agent.